I just generally relaxed and truly relaxed, where I just sat on a couch and watched TV and did nothing else. Hello lovely bookworms, I'm Esmay from Paradise of Pages on Instagram and welcome to a new video. And in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the books I've read in December. So without further ado, let's get into it. This month I've read a total of 8 books, and most of these books I've either borrowed or read as ebooks, so I don't have a lot of physical books here, but of course there will be pictures to show you which books I've actually read. So the first book that I've read is The Surface Breaks, and it's safe to say that it was not a favorite. I don't know if this video will come before or after my worst books of 2018, but if it comes after, you know that I did not like it at all. I do have to say that the beginning was enjoyable, which is also something I mentioned in that video, and the ending was just very horrible for me. It was just too feminist for me, to the point where it wasn't realistic anymore. And of course it is fantasy, but it still needs to be somewhat realistic for me to actually like it, hence why I gave the book 2.5 stars. Let's quickly move on to a book that I did like, and the two that I've read this month which I really liked were The Winner's Crime and The Winner's Kiss by Mary Rothkowski. Those are the second and the third book in the Winner's Curse trilogy. It's a little bit confusing sometimes, and I really enjoyed them. The Winner's Crime was absolutely amazing and really enjoyed this. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and for me it was the best out of the trilogy. For The Winner's Kiss, the Winner's Kiss was really good, and I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars. However, there were some things plot-wise that I wasn't the biggest fan of. You probably know, if you've read the book, which ones, because there were pretty big plot points, but I'm not going to mention them here because I don't want to spoil you. So I did really like these two, and I'm really happy I read this trilogy. It was awesome. The next book that I've read is one that I had to read for my studies, and that is The Culture Map by Erin Meyer. I didn't have to read everything, but I decided to read everything anyway so that I could put it on my reading challenge and put it on Goodreads. I was really surprised by this. It is not a fantasy book, it is really real life. Really real life. Wow. It was a non-fiction book and very academic, and I really enjoyed it actually for that kind of book. You can't really see it in my rating because I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars, but that was because I would not have liked it nor picked it up if it were for my personal enjoyment, but I gave it 3.5 stars because I really enjoyed it as a college book. The next book I didn't really like, and that is also one that I DNF'd, and that is One Day in December. It was just very cliche. I just didn't really like the story. I think I read 70% of it, so I gave it a fair shot and still didn't like it, so I decided to not finish it because there are a lot of books that you can read in the time where you're reading a book you don't really enjoy. So if I don't like a book, I tend to just DNF it unless I really feel like I will like it if I push through. So yeah, didn't really like this one, gave it 1 star, and let's just quickly move on to the next one. The next one is not really a book in my opinion. It is seen as a book, and that is It All Started in December. It's only 80 pages on ebook, so it's not too big, but I did really enjoy it. It was quite flat for a story, but I can't really blame the book for that because it's 80 pages or 88. It was still really enjoyable and a Christmassy read, which is what I was in the mood for, and I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I've read is The Wolf Wilder by Catherine Rondell. This is, I think, a middle grade book, and I really enjoyed it. It's situated in Russia. It is about a girl and her mother, and both of them are wolf wilders, and what they try to do is they help wolves to set them back into the wild. And one day someone comes to take her mother away, and this girl goes on a journey with her wolves and a just found friend to get her mother back. I really like the whole Russian system that you see in this. I really love the wintry, cannot say this to save my life. I really enjoyed the wintry theme. There we go. And what I also really enjoyed, and I'll show you, are the illustrations that are in here. Let's see. I know that there's a big one somewhere as well. Well, I'll show you one here. There's one here just in between the story. Let's see if I can find. There's a big one on this page. One thing I am quite sad about is that there's a misprinting in my book somewhere near the end of the book. Some pages, I don't think you can see it. They seem double printed and you can't really read them. Maybe you can see the difference if I go page back. This is the normal one and then this is the misprint, which I'm kind of sad about, but it was still a pretty good read. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars and I can definitely recommend this if you are into something snowy, wintry, and if you like to read a book with Russian influences. This already gets me to the last book of the month, and this was an anticipated read for sure, and that is All the Wandering Light by Heather Fawcett. I know I've mentioned this book a lot on here. I also know that you're probably sick of this book by now, which means you hopefully read it. This is the second book in the All the Wandering Light This is the second book in the All the Wandering Light duology, and I really enjoyed it. This one was not as good as the first one though, but I still gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. The other one was 5 stars, a solid 5 stars, and this one was 4.5 because the ending was a little bit short. Not necessarily rushed, but a little bit short, and I would have liked to see a little bit more. I mean, the book is not that big that you don't have room to add a few more chapters to round everything off nicely. And I'm actually really excited to see what Heather Fawcett will do now. These were all the books that I've read in December. I know it is not a lot of them, but there was a lot to be done uni-wise. There was Christmas, and I just generally relaxed and truly relaxed, where I just sat on a couch and watched TV and did nothing else. I was even too tired to actually read, which is very new for me. Yet I still think I did pretty well, and I managed to get to my goal of 100 books, which I'm very happy about. This was everything for this video. Comment down below which books you've read in December or which ones you've really enjoyed. I want to thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and press that little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post. And I will see you guys the next time. Bye!